So welcome back. And first of all, we're going to talk about how to fill a cartridge converter fountain pen. So I've got three fountain pens here. The Pilot Custom 74, which is a cartridge converter fountain pen made by Pilot. We have a flex pen from a British company called the Good Blue, which is also a cartridge converter fountain pen. And I'm actually going to fill this from just your standard style Schmidt twist converter. It's easy to demonstrate. And the third pen that I'll be filling in this part of the segment is a Pilot Custom Urushi. As you can see, it's a very large pen with a big old number 8 nib on it, or really, as Pilot would put it, a number 30 nib. And it has the Con 70 pump converter, which operates a bit differently from the twist converter. So I thought it might be fun to see how the different pins fill. This is a nice Urushi pen. It's Japanese lacquer. So I'll be using to fill this pen some standard Pilot ink. It's not necessary that you use ink that's of the same brand as your fountain pen. Pen companies, of course, will recommend that because they want you to buy their ink. The only exception I sometimes make is more expensive pens, like a custom Urushi or something along those lines. I'll be a little bit more discreet with the inks that I put in those pens, because you just don't want to take. I personally don't want to take any chances with these more expensive finishes. And Pilot's Iroshizuku ink, full disclosure, we sell it in the shop, is a good, safe ink, and I don't have any hesitation with using that in a Pilot pen. But to get started, if you're buying your first fountain pen, in all likelihood, you're probably going to start with an ink cartridge. It's very easy to fill a fountain pen with an ink cartridge. You've got your box of Pilot Blue Black. There's the opening, which is going to go down into the section of the fountain pen. You just go until you hear the pop. You might see some ink, you might see a bubble of ink pop out the front. And I sometimes give the cartridge a little squeeze just to get the ink flowing. It's not necessary. Eventually the ink will flow, but that's all you need to do. And that is why people write with cartridges, because filling the fountain pen is literally that easy. So I'll set that one aside. So while we're on the while we've got a little bit of a Pilot trend here going, let's fill the custom Urushi. And I'm going to fill this one from the bottle. When you're bottle filling a pen, I always keep a towel. I mean, this is kind of it's an old gym towel, but it's a fountain pen, just terry cloth towel that I use. It's become my fountain pen filling towel. I go through one or two of them a year. Open your ink bottle, make sure you have a sturdy, flat surface. To do that, sometimes, as you will see, it gets stuck, especially if the ink bottle has not been opened in a while, like this one has not. In which case, you might need to take the towel or something. There, got it. So open your ink bottle, take out your converter, and as you'll see, what you do here with the Con 70 is you'll dip the nib, go a little bit up the section, and begin to pump the ink until you see the pen fill. And at that, you'll just kind of dab your nib off, and you have the full pen. Got a little bit of ink on my hands. It's part of the fun. I think you can clean this one off a little bit more. So those two are ready to go. Those two pens are ready to write. The next one is the Good Blue pen. it fills from a converter in a similar manner. Man, I twist these things on too tight. There. It's good to know that Pilot ink bottles maintain a good seal, so they're not going to evaporate. That's really, you'll see that's not because the ink has dried, it's because the bottle's been closed for a while and it forms a seal against the inside of the cap. So you'll uncap the pen, you've got your twist converter, and it operates in a very similar manner to the Con 70, only instead of pushing the button to pump, you twist the converter to fill the pen like that. And so you've got a converter full of ink. Clean off the section so you don't get your hands too inky. The cool thing is you'll notice from before that the feed on this Good Blue pen is porous. And I'll do a review of this pen standing alone. But the feed is porous, so it will change colors to match whatever ink you have in the pen. It's kind of a cool little trick that also allows you to remember what color you've actually got in the pen if you forget. This is Iroshizuku Asagao, which is one of my favorite blue inks of all times. It's a very low maintenance, safe ink, and it flows really well, which makes it good for this flex nib. And that is how you fill cartridge converter fountain pens. I'll be back in a moment and we can talk about piston fillers and eyedroppers.